got the prettiest side for everyone to enjoy. Standing up close by the Christmas tree, glimmering light, I am right where I wanna be. I will be home for a couple of days, wander around with you.
Good morning and welcome to day 12 of Vlogmas. As I was pulling out my minis this morning, I was thinking, wow, it's halfway through the minis portion. Tomorrow is actually like the halfway point, but I have one of my advents organized in like rows of 12, so I just pulled the last of the first row today. First sip of coffee always feels so good. Today is going to be a good day. I can just feel it. I have some membership events going on today. So in about an hour and a half, I have a casual Zoom with some of my members. And then later in the afternoon and in the evening, we're doing some movie nights, which don't require me to be on camera. So it's just like we're watching the movie together, chatting. It's very, very fun. So I thought today I would go makeup free and give my face a little bit of a break, and my eyelashes and my eyebrows. I did brush my eyebrows a little bit though. They're kind of long. So it feels really good. And my eyes are getting a rest from my contacts. I'm really hoping that I don't have to go anywhere today except take Toaster out, and maybe we're gonna test out these new microphones that I've got for recording videos and doing YouTube lives outside. Okay, I am ready to do my stripe on my granny stripe blanket today, so I want to go ahead and just kick off by opening up these advents. So let's start with Fangirl Fibers. December 12th. Oh, I'm kind of excited we have a yarn that's not a solid today. This is so pretty. Oh man, what do y'all think it is? I've been loving seeing your guesses. I don't really know. I always say I'm gonna think about it, and then I don't think about it until we actually play the guessing game. But I will think about it as I'm crocheting this in here in just a minute. That's really beautiful though. And then let's do a homespun house day 12. I do have more to say about this today. Actually, that's another thing I'm hoping to do today is kind of get my projects organized, look at my notebook, my plans for the month of December, and kind of reprioritize a little bit here. Ooh, that is so beautiful. This color is called Tegan, I think is how you say that. I don't know what that means. I know somebody named Tegan, but I don't know what Tegan actually means. That's very beautiful. Oh, I cannot wait to use these. I'm on pause with my pants right now. I'll explain more later, but I've decided to focus on my blanket because that's bringing me joy and doing that every single day. And I am going to try to finish my hats. And yeah, I said I'd talk about this later and then I started talking about it, but I will share more details later. I'm kind of wanting to like pull all my project bags out and take a look at things. I just have too many projects going on. Okay, let's go get settled down for a fun morning.
You and me in the cold, thought it'd never be true. Wherever I go, I got you. Oh, I have stopped running, there is no way trying. You better lose.
I think I'm gonna start out watching some Vlogmases this morning and then maybe get back into the Harry and Meghan documentary series. I don't know. I only have an hour and a half. I mean, only. That's a lot of time until my Zoom. So I'll have to see. But I also wanted to share my breakfast. So I am somebody who eats the same thing every single morning for months and months and months until one day it tastes gross. It like starts to taste kind of like not so good anymore. And then one day I just can't stand it and I have to change. So that happened to me just a few days ago. And so I have switched from my steel cut oats with my peanut butter and bananas over to some overnight oats. And I will put the recipes. This is something that a friend shared with me a few years ago. It's apple pie overnight oats. So it's got, you know, yogurt, and I put honey, yogurt, almond milk, oats, and then apples and nutmeg and cinnamon, and it's totally so apple pie like, great for the holidays, super good, and not so hard to make. I like to make several batches, leave them in the fridge in these like containers so that I can just open the lid and breakfast is ready to go. This was something I did a lot when I was teaching because it was such an easy way to get a bunch of breakfast ready. All right, let's see. Breakfast over. I'm gonna wind it up. I'm gonna enjoy the morning, enjoy the Zoom later, and do hopefully a lot of knitting and get my crochet done today.
Drinking hot wine by the fire, don't care of anything else. It's Christmas and some kind of love, my friend. I'll pray it will never end. Do you like to be here too?
I decided to take a page from Made by Maddie's book. I saw on Instagram that she queued up a watch later playlist. So this is like a private playlist you can make for yourself. So like as you see like videos, hold on. As you see videos like pop up on the side on YouTube, if you hover over them, you can click that little clock and it will add it to your watch later list. And then you can find it, well, I found it up here and then watch later. I don't know where you find it on other devices. And then you can just hit play all and these will just start to play like in order. So what always happens to me is I get distracted by like the side thumbnails and then I like start watching another video. So now I can just open this up full screen and videos for Vlogmas will just keep playing and playing, I'm assuming. So this is pretty cool. I like this. I was coming to get my second cup of coffee and I'm almost out of almond milk, which is what I use for my creamer. But then I remembered it's the weekend. So we have our off-brand Baileys to add to the coffee. So cheers.
It's Christmas and outside snow's glistening. It's just you and me tonight. I'll spend all this Christmas with you. Such a charm, got you up in my arm. There's nobody at the door. You said I wish this will never be over. Darling, it's time for your present. Come over here. Now it is time to get out in the snow, lighting a light with you.
I just had way too much fun with my friends on Zoom. I had an hour scheduled for our get-together and we ended up being on there for over 2 hours. So it was great. I also did so much knitting on my hat. I don't have a marker in from where I started today. This is from like earlier this week, but I feel like I got a lot done and I just pulled out my current Musselburgh hat so I can kind of compare them and see when I need to stop the ribbing. I'm going to do that in just a second. And I don't know, I feel like I have like a lot of makeup stains. I don't know if you can see. I wear this hat all the time, so I think it's ready for a wash. But yeah, I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to figure that out in a second. But what I really want to do today is go through my projects. I'm going to look at my notebook and see my plans for December and make some adjustments because I'm just feeling like, you know, it's good to check in kind of on goals and things. And I know I've been sharing it a lot, but I'm trying to find the balance between like doing knitting and crochet that's bringing me joy and making me happy, and like also bringing in the element of challenge and like accomplishing things that I also really do enjoy too, but not trying to overdo that part of it and like feeling guilty or feeling stuck or feeling behind, because feeling behind is often something that is kind of just a construct of choices that we make. And like I've decided I wanted to do, you know, certain things daily and I'm not doing them, so I'm feeling behind. But I can also decide that I don't care about doing my Advents daily and then I'm not behind. You know, it's kind of like it's like an interesting mind thing. So I'm trying to decide where I like fall into that. But yeah, I pulled out my December project plans that I did earlier. I think I did them like the end of November. And so week 1 was to start my flare pants, which I did do. Week 2, which is the week that's ending like right now, I wanted to finish my stars hat, working on that, and swatch for my lace and fade, which is the yarn that I have here. So I need to do that. And then this coming week, I wanted to finish my Vlogmas socks and then start my lace and fade. So with those things in mind, I'm sitting in front of my yarn area. So I've got all my whips in here, aside from the 2 that I was just working on. I'm gonna pull them all out. Oh, and there's a string in this thing that's bothering me. And I'm going to make some decisions and reprioritize some things. So I think I'll just talk through it with you. Why not? I've already been thinking about this. Okay, this is everything. So in here, I have a sweater that I started in November that I'm not even thinking about. I honestly kind of forgot that I was working on it. So this is a hibernating project, literally on my Ravelry page. It's in hibernation, so it doesn't show up at the top as a whip, and I'm not worried about this until I'm done with all my Advent stuff, and I want to work on that later. So that's in the box. Okay, this project, I've been keeping up with it every day pretty much. I'm already caught up today, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So this is something that I want to continue working on, so it's staying out. This hat project, I've decided it's something that I want to finish by the time I have a hockey game, which is coming up in just a few days. So this is my priority for today and tomorrow, and I'm gonna find out soon how much more I have left to go on it. So that's also staying out. I'm enjoying working on that, and I want it done. What's this? Oh, this is my other Muscle Burrow hat. That is just a, if I need it for in the dark kind of a project, it's not a priority. So it's going back in the bin. Okay, so that brings me to 2 left. One is my flare pants, which I actually haven't pulled out in a couple of days. We'll get back to that. And the other is my Vlogmas socks. I am on just barely on the foot of the first sock. So these are 2 projects that I'm like, I don't know how I'm exactly feeling about them. Let's start with the pants. I've been thinking about this a lot. So as of this moment, when I wake up in the morning and I'm opening my Advents, I am so excited to work on my blanket. I feel joy when I'm working on the blanket. I feel joy when I finish the color for the day. And as much as like, I don't want to feel that and like, I want to be okay with like not keeping up daily, that's really how I feel. Like I enjoy that. I like having the daily like tick, I guess, like check, it's done. And maybe that's why I'm liking this project. Maybe it's because it's crochet. Maybe it's because it's more realistic. Maybe it's because it's close to being done. I don't know, but there's something about this that gives me the feeling that I wanted to feel during Advent. And there's something about these that's not giving me the feeling that I want during Advent. When I wear these, I feel, when I'm knitting on these, I'm feeling like I'm just needing to get through it. I just want to get to the next color. I want to catch up. And again, I wish I didn't feel that way, but this is how I feel. And I can't really ignore that feeling. I really like the yarn and I really like the pattern, but I'm just not so sure right now if I need to be forcing myself to work on this project. So instead of making a very definitive decision, like I've had thoughts of waiting until I'm done with this, opening this Advent, and then maybe changing around the colors so I can do more of like a rainbow kind of effect and still use these colors in these pants. It's so funny because I had never thought of doing that with an Advent. Like in my brain, there's like a right and a wrong way to do things. I think that happens a lot with like, I've been studying a lot of perfectionism this year, so sorry, this is always coming up for me. But there's like the right way in my brain is that you open the Advent, you work on that color that day. You open the Advent, you work on the next color. Or you open your Advent and don't do anything. Like those are the only 2 choices for me in my brain for some reason. And a lot of people do things in between. Like there's been so many people that have shared that they open up their Advent and then they just like work on that color until they're done with that color and then get the next one in, and they don't really mind like that they're not knitting on that color knitting on the color of the day every single day. And I'm like, oh, that's a choice? I didn't know that was a choice. So I tried that, but that doesn't seem to be working for me, at least with these pants. And then all of these people are telling me that they open up their advent and then at the end, they decide what to make with that. After they see all the colors, after they see how it looks, they pick the right pattern for that. And I'm like, that's a choice? And then other people have said once they get all the colors, sometimes they'll just line them up next to each other and then they'll rearrange them, maybe just change a few here and there or completely reorder them and then make the project. Again, it's so funny how my brain thinks that there's choice A and choice B and those are the only choices. And then you talk with other people or watching other people's Vlogmases and there's so many choices in between. So I don't know exactly what I want to do. I know I want to make the pattern, the Beachcomber flares, and I know I want to use this advent. But then I saw Kay, the crazy sock lady, I saw the shawl that she made. She's not making it this year. It's one that she keeps wearing. And I just feel like this yarn would be so beautiful in that shawl pattern. So rather than making a choice right now to like, yes, I'm definitely going to continue this, or yes, I'm going to change the colors, or yes, I'm going to use the yarn for something else, I am just hitting the pause button on this project right now because I don't know exactly what I want to do yet, but I can hit pause. I can come back and decide later. And so this is going into the bin for right now. That was a really long way to say don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I don't feel like it's working for me at this moment. And so I'm just going to take it off the list. It's off the list. It's done. There, that's better. You can see the top of my head now. It's done, not done, but like it's not a thought. And when I decided that, I felt a sense of relief. So I know it was the right choice. So now I'm going to be working on this every day and feeling really good about that and opening my homespun house advent and just having fun with it, right? Isn't that great? And I even thought about maybe starting to string them onto that little string, or I'm like, oh, I could like open them in January. And then I'm like, Natalie, you're getting too far ahead. Just chill. Okay, so that brings me to the last project, the Sockmas socks. So in a perfect world, I would finish this hat before the game that we're going to in a few days. And then I would finish these, socks by December 16th, the end of Sockmas, which is coming up on Friday. So I would still like to do both of those things. My first thought was to alternate, like work on the hat, then work on the socks, and work on the hat, then work on the socks. But something that I found that works a little bit better for me, and I'm just gonna test it now, is to kind of have like a one-track thing going on. So instead of worrying about the socks, because they're a later deadline, I mean, only by a few days, but they are, I am going to consider these not a worry right now, and they're going into the box. And I am gonna work on this until it's done. Now, not with such rigidness that if I get bored with this, I can't pull out another project or want to work on the socks, but I think that that's going to be, I think I'm going to get more done if I focus on one project at a time. So this is such a long segment. It's like a mini podcast in here. Daily on this for right now. Well, yes, for the rest of Advent, I'm assuming. And then this until it's finished, and then socks until they're finished. And then we will reevaluate. The first thing that made me like kind of start on this path of like not working on the Beachcomber flares and everything was that December 14th is coming up. And on December 14th, I start opening my Mandy's Makings Advent. And I'm having so much fun with my crochet blanket that I actually really want to make that crochet cowl, the juniper cowl, with my 12-day Advent. And to create space for that, because it seems like it's going to be something that's going to be fun and I'm going to love, I just have too many whips and I need to knock some things off. I wanted to get my socks and hat done anyway, and it just wasn't going to happen with the pants. So yeah, I feel really good about this. So basically, all of these things that I've put into the whip basket will go back into the shelf, and they will be waiting for me. I know what's coming up next. I can change my mind at any time. And my blanket's already done for the day, so I'm just going to put it in here in this shelf. and it can just look beautiful. It really does look beautiful. And for the rest of the day, unless I get bored and want to pull my socks out, I'm gonna be, you know, going on this hat. So I'll probably go in and kind of rewrite this later. I don't really want to do that right now. But what I do want to do is figure out how much more I have to go on this hat until I get to the stockinette, because I feel like once I get there, it's really gonna fly. Poor little toaster is so chilly. We have it so cold in here. You cold? There you go. You hear him like grunt. Oh, he loves it. It's finally gotten cold again here, and it's like, it was in the 30s this morning, and so it's finally cooled off in our apartment. It's chilly in here, but not quite cold enough to put on the heat. When the heat comes on, it's very, very hot. So what I've done to figure out how to do this muscle burrow is, this is one that's already finished that I'm kind of modeling it after. And I put this hat on. Hang on, let me get it all folded up and on. I put it on with a little bit of slouch, and then I folded it up like how I normally wear it. Maybe not that quite that much. Anyway, I did this a while ago, and somewhere, where is it? Somewhere in here, I put a stitch marker, like where did I put the stitch marker? Are you seeing it? Do you see it? Is it in here somewhere? There it is. I put a stitch marker in, there it is. Basically to let me know like where the fold up would be. And so this is so confusing, but one part of the hat is going, or like almost 3/4 of the hat is going to be rib, because I want the rib to like be the fold up part on both sides. And so I still confuse myself when I think about this, but if I do rib from like here down to here, here down to here, it'll be rib on both sides of the hat, I think. So I don't know, I did all the thinking when I marked this, and so then I was just able to lay this out and hold this up. So on this side, I think if I do stockinette, I need to rethink this. If I do stockinette from here up, then the whole rest of the hat needs to be rib. So on the longer part of the hat, that's where I'm like comparing. Where's my, yeah, and here's my stitch marker right here. So I need to do that much more. So I know that this is going, this one's not going to be quite as long probably, because when the rib stretches out, it shrinks the length a little bit. But I figured out that if I want to get to that point on the hat, I need to do about 15 to 20 more rounds of ribbing before I switch to stockinette. So I've got my marker, I'll do the 15 rounds, and then I will reconsider on the hat and just make sure I'm going to like that. I'm okay if it's not quite as long as this one and doesn't have quite as much of a roll up, so it doesn't need to be perfect or exact, but all of this section needs to be like basically 3 times, is that right? I think so. 3 times the fold up. Now I'm not sure if I'm thinking about this right, but it sounds right in my head, and I'm gonna test it out. But I will do 15 more rounds of ribbing later on when we do our movie night. I actually need to go do some work right now, some computer work, but when we do our first movie of the day, I will hopefully get really close on that 15 rounds of ribbing, and then I can recheck it out. Fingers crossed. If I could get this hat done tomorrow, that would be ideal. I just did this math in a much easier way, so I thought I would explain. So from one crown to this other crown for me is 17 inches. So then I was like, okay, I need 17 inches from crown to crown. From this crown to the color change is 5 1/4. And so the other one needs to be 5 1/4. That's 10 1/2. So I did 17, the total like plain length that I need, minus 10 1/2, and that gave me 6.5 because I needed a calculator. So that means this section with the rib should be 6.5 inches. That to me makes so much more sense. I almost need to like draw a picture of this to have it make sense for me.
It was the night before Christmas. I was closing down for business in my little prison shop. When the bell on the door jingled once more, and then time almost came to a stop. But somehow I knew, and maybe so did you, that everything...
I did a little bit of work and now I'm ready for our first movie night. So this is really cool. There is something called Teleparty that's a free extension on Google Chrome. You can use it with your family or friends and you just log into like Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus or whatever, and then one person creates the Teleparty link and everyone else can watch the movie or show together. You do have to have your own like Netflix account or Disney Plus or whatever, but it's so cool. And then you have like a little chat on the side. Obviously the movie's not playing yet. We're starting in about 12 minutes. But what Kent and I like to do is I'll have the movie playing for everyone on my computer and I'll like chat on my computer, but then I'll try to start the movie at the same time on the TV so we can watch it. Kent and I can watch it together. So it's really fun. We're watching Noelle for our first movie, and then in a few hours we are going to be watching a Netflix movie, Falling for Christmas, with Lindsay Lohan, which I've already seen, but I've already seen Noelle too, but it'll be fun to watch again. So since today's movie day and Kent went to the store, he came home and he had a bunch of treats for me. He's like, here, I got you treats for movie night. These are the Target like snack mixes. And he's like, oh, and I also got you this. Oh, and I also got you this. Oh, and I also got you this. And he also got break and bake cookies that are in the fridge. So, and he got poinsettias, which I will have to show later. They're so pretty. So that was really cool. I think I'm gonna make myself some tea and probably open up one of these snack mixes because I'm not really hungry, because Kent also fed me a delicious lunch and he's making one of my favorite dinners. So I don't want to get like too full or anything, but I can have a little bit of a snack during each of our movies. I am going to work on my hat. I still think that I just have 15 rows of ribbing left to go until I can switch to stockinette. So hopefully that is true, and the rest of the day we just get to mostly enjoy some knitting, some movies, some food, and some relaxing.
Closing down for business.
Alexa, it's Christmas time. Wave.
Little prison shop.
Alexa, it's Christmas time.
When the bell on the door jingled once more, and then time almost came.
Alexa,
to
stop music.
stop. But somehow I knew, and maybe so did you, that everything would change from now on. Yes, from this Christmas on, this Christmas on, from this Christmas on, it's
I am very, very excited because we just upgraded our microphones. I have like a plug-in microphone that plugs into my iPhone that has started to kind of go out on me and stuff, and plus it's corded, and we just needed something really good for like interviews and stuff. So this is so cool. It's so small and it's like 2 microphones, and then this is the receiver or transmitter or whatever. I don't really know all of the words, but I'm gonna try talking to you on this. We're gonna actually, we tested them out and practice and stuff, but aren't they so cool? They just clip on like that. And then let's see, we can switch the audio over. Yeah, I hit the record button, and so now we can use audio from this. But what's gonna be so cool is that tomorrow, Kent and I are going out to Central Park, and we're gonna be walking around, and we're gonna be on a YouTube Live. So hopefully, if I have this, I can like pull it off and talk close. It has little wind screens on it. So I'm really hoping it works well for a YouTube Live tomorrow. But I just feel really like grateful, I guess, and like excited that we're at the point in like making videos that we can upgrade to something very fancy for us and like nice. And I hear Kent talking, but it's super cool. So I wonder how it sounds when I'm talking on this microphone. Maybe I'll start doing more videos with it. I love sitting right here with this view behind me. I think it looks so cool. Oh, today's such a hodgepodge. I feel like all I've done the last 2 days is talk. I have a lot to say apparently, since I had many days of not getting to really talk to the camera when we had people here. So if you're not into the videos, the vlogs where I'm talking so much, know that coming up, we're gonna have people in town, and there will probably be a lot more like sightseeing and out and aboutness. It just changes depending on what we're doing that day. Come here, buddy. Oh, I thought that was Toaster. It was Kent at the door. But I just walked, I was downstairs taking Toaster outside, and I got a package. And so it wasn't the package that I was expecting, it was something smaller. And my friend Bethany sent me a gift for just no reason, just an out of the blue gift, which was so sweet. And if you don't know Bethany, she is Gypsy Bird Makes on YouTube. She has an amazing Vlogmas. It is so much fun to watch. She has the coolest life because she lives and travels. Her husband is a traveling nurse, and so they travel around with their whole family and their 3 kids and their like zoo of pets in an RV. So if you think that I'm living small with me, Kent, and Toaster, you have to see Bethany because she's just the coolest person and so sweet. And anyway, I'll put her channel down below because I genuinely am enjoying her Vlogmas, and I think you might enjoy it too. But why I'm telling you this is she gifted me this pouch earlier this year, not too long ago. I haven't had it for long, but I love it. It's like just the perfect size. I've got a small pair of scissors, my measuring tape, and you can't really see them, but in here are like a bunch of stitch markers and tapestry needle. And I have this now hanging by my spot on the couch, and then whenever I'm like going somewhere and I need just like a little kit, I bring this, and pretty much this is all that I really ever need. Sometimes when I'm traveling, I like to bring a scale as well, but I keep saying that this is from Black Pearl Magic, and it's not. It's just that Shayla has done such a good job making her brand that I think anything that comes in this material is Shayla's, and I love Shayla and I love Black Pearl Magic, but this is actually not from Black Pearl Magic. And so I think I should ask Bethany, and if I'm wrong, I'll correct it on the screen. I think these might be from this person. It says handmade in Connecticut, really small right there. And yeah, Bethany just said, I know how much you like the other one, so I thought maybe a second one would be nice. Thank you, Bethany. It's literally the sweetest thing ever. So let's, I haven't really looked at it yet. Let's see. This is from, yeah, I think this is the company Neon Soul. I'll double check that both are from this company with Bethany, and then I will link that shop too in case you want to get one. Looks like the person's name is Samantha. But anyway, oh, look at this one. Look at that color. It is bright pink, and this is orange. I think you can tell on the camera in the dark. That is so cool. And this one has like a little clip. So that would be nice to like clip to a project bag or something. I love it. They're just the perfect size. And what's so nice about them is that instead of like, I used to have like a little plastic container, but things would like rattle around and that would drive me nuts, like that sound. And this like, actually really you're hearing the keychain. it doesn't really make that much noise, so it doesn't bother me when I am like carrying around something. So anyway, I thought I would share. Thank you, Bethany. I will put her channel down below. This has nothing to do with that specifically, but I love her channel so much, and I'm trying to share Vlogmases and love with other channels, because that's how I got started, is somebody shared my channel. Thank you, Diane, Suburban Stitcher. That really helped. But yeah, so let me catch you up with what's been going on. Kent is now cooking dinner. He's literally just like cooked and made food for me all day, which has been amazing. And we are about 30 minutes away from our second movie night of the night. So I'm gonna go do probably a little Vlogmas watching and knitting on my hat. I think I have like 5 more rows until I can switch to stockinette, and that's it. I've just been spending the last like hour kind of playing with the new microphones and getting prepared for tomorrow's event, getting everything charged, getting everything ready, kind of thinking about things. So I'm ready to stop working and take another fun break.
We forgot what you came for, and in the coffee shop just next door, we talked for hours on end, and somehow we knew that we'd found something true, and that everything would change from now on. Yes, from this Christmas on, this Christmas on, from this Christmas on.
Look, try to look a little happier. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
Well.
Oh God. We need to stop doing these at the end of the night and start doing
I'm gonna guess it's like blue and yellow.
No.
Green? Yellow?
You literally just saw it.
It was like blue and green.
It's blue and green. You're right. Is that what you would have guessed?
No.
Oh no.
Not at all.
Well, sorry, I ruined your half of the guessing game. It's just par for the course in this night. I just asked Kent to add something to the video that was almost done.
It was done. It's okay though.
It's important though, you're gonna like it.
Sleep is a tomorrow problem.
Okay, so what colors would you have guessed?
It doesn't matter now, you showed
Yes,
me.
it does.
Nope.
It does, because it helps me inform my guess.
I don't know. Well, you just have to start guessing now. That's the rule.
Because you're punishing me?
Yeah, because you took away my
I'm sorry.
time, so now you have to a harder route.
Okay, fine. Is it a doll?
No.
Is it a girl's toy?
No.
It's a boy's toy?
No.
It's both?
Yeah.
Is it something that is like a game?
No.
Is it a Furby?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah. Oh no! I thought it would take a while. Oh man. It's Furby. I don't know why I'm rooting against you, but I thought this would be a tough one. It's Furby.
Yeah, I mean, those are the creepiest things I've ever seen in my life. I never did have one, but I did want one.
I feel like my brother had like a weird amount.
That's what your mom said. I'm just gonna show it again.
I would have guessed brown. I thought Furbies were like brown and white.
Okay, so that's why I guessed like gray when it was gray the other day. That's why I guessed Furby, but I think they were like different colors. Or I don't remember, but peak, I feel like that was like peak Black Friday. Like people were like actually fighting to get those.
Maybe. I feel like Tickle Me Elmo was like a
Oh,
thing
that
before.
too. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And then I didn't have a Furby, but at one time I spent the night at a friend's house for a sleepover, and they had a Furby, and it like went off in the middle of the night, and it was terrifying.
You had to like feed it.
I don't even know.
Push its tongue, right, to feed it.
Let us know if you had a Furby.
What do they actually do? Like, can you
and
actually
if it's
teach
still
them?
alive.
Can you teach, oh my god! If people have like actual Furbies going, that'd be pretty crazy.
What were you gonna say, Kit?
Like, can you like teach your Furby to like say things?
Maybe.
Or do things?
I don't know, baby.
I don't know. All right. Good night. Too sleepy.
Good night.
Good night.
It's gonna be you and me. Decorate.
I can't even turn the page of my book. He's like pinned my arm.
Well, you just have to lay like this now.
I
Sorry.
know, I can't move until he moves. I'm just gonna sleep like this.
Tickle again.
My